Here's a reminder, Adam Nelson in just a few. Then I'm going to talk the right rev of Rev, or the right rev of Speed, Jerry Bonkowski. They're going to Pocono this week. What about this Ford-Chevy merger? I'm going to talk to him about that. I mean, that's dogs and cats living together. That's, no, I can't fathom this. That's, I don't know what to tell you here. There's hope in the Middle East if that can happen. Well, maybe then it should. Then we got Jake Hubbard, University High. I am really intrigued. Basketball player at UH, and football at UH. He's going to play football at Southern Virginia. That's impressive. Signed a scholarship. And then Josh Brown knock home a nation at 1:30. All right, I was talking before about my monologue, which now I see goes very long. I was talking about the 18-game schedule, proposed, owners, NFL. I think it should happen. I think it should happen post-haste. Get rid of the preseason. Do the 18-game schedule. I want it done now. Especially someone like me, who is a season ticket holder. And, you go to 2 meaningless games in August. Why? I want my money to have value. Not really all that. What am I? Let's see here. Is that going to be Benny Snell or James Conner in a backfield for the Steelers this year? They have practices that are open to the public if I'm that excited about it. I've seen them. I've seen 10,000 people come out to a scrimmage at a high school field for a pro football team. I mean, packed to the gills. Or every last seat taken. 10,000 I've seen it. It's impressive. But what I'd like to see also happen with an 18-game schedule is some flexibility. John Madden once said that he thought 2 weeks of the schedule should be reserved for rivalries. And, so that way, back in the day, the Raiders and the Steelers would have played each other, for instance. I mean, that was big at the time, I realize rivalries come and go. What's Cowboys-Niners now? Really, what's Cowboys-Niners now? It used to be the biggest one in the NFL. What's Cowboys-Skins now? Think about it. I mean, it's still kind of there, but it's not kind of there. It's not what it once was. It's not, go break up the fun bunch. No, it's not that. And so, what we have here is, I'm thinking, all right, why don't the Cowboys and the Texans play each other every year? Why don't the Jets and the Giants? Why don't the Panthers and the Titans for the fans around here? Well, the reason why, they're in different conferences, so what? Because that's what the formula says. It says out of conference, 1 game every 4 years. 1 home game every 4 years. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that Steelers and Cowboys, which is probably the equivalent of, say, Celtics-Lakers or Yankees-Dodgers for pro football, should be played more than once every 4 years. I know you can say, it whets the appetite. Forgive me. I kind of like having, dessert a little bit more often maybe than you do then. I don't know, Saturday morning is my bacon breakfast. I give you that. Okay. But it's not once every 4 years. It's every Saturday morning. I like to have it, I think that I would like to see the Cowboys and the Steelers play more often. I'd like to see the Steelers and the Eagles play more often. I'd like to see, I'm speaking now as quote-unquote Steelers fan. I get that, But, what about, I don't know, Browns and Bills? Something like that. Bills and Giants. I mean, playing 3 games. What the heck? Have a rubber game in a traditional rivalry like, Browns Steelers or Packers Bears or something like that. Or, say you're having a bad year. And you look around and you're the Arizona Cardinals and you say, boy, we need a victory here. Why don't we play Giants? How good are they going to be this year? Well, they could be, let's see what. And I'll admit, they may play each other already. Or something. But just throw out. Well, wait a minute. We'll see the Broncos because that's geographic, and they're not all that good either, and all that. And see if the Raiders want to play us. They're down here in Phoenix. I mean, they're going to have fans in Vegas here soon, so chance for those fans to come down, shorter trip, Something like that. Chargers return to San Diego. Or, it's for the preseason was one of my ideas, So, I would say the commissioner office has to approve all games. I mean, if the New England Patriots are hosting the Arizona Cardinals for 2 games, when you have the flexibility to schedule them, put the kibosh on that. But I was thinking, I checked the schedule, and the Cardinals and Steelers play in Phoenix, or Arizona, I guess it's suburban Phoenix, University of Phoenix Stadium this year. But let's say Larry Fitzgerald plays 2 more years. What about scheduling games, ensuring, okay, we're going to play one at Pittsburgh, because that was his college stadium, Larry Fitzgerald. And then we'll play another game. He's from Minnesota. We'll play another game at Minnesota. That would be a great swan song for Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, something like that. Why does it always have to be formula? Expand the schedule. Make your own schedule up in those last 2 games, just like you do make your own schedule up in the preseason. Weaker teams could get, the victory they need, and that helps competitive balance. Now, a couple of ideas I have that I'd like to see. The Chiefs are not getting their way. The Chiefs always have their own ideas on how the league should be run. Dan Rooney once told me that. That's an actual quote. The conference championship should be played in a neutral site. I mean, really, Now they want, both teams to get the ball in overtime. Never mind the fact that that gives the advantage to the team that, loses the toss, so to speak, that goes second. And it also, you get 4 downs as opposed to 3. Now, it's still a game of field position. You don't want them to go all the way. We should have the ball back a second time. No, you shouldn't. Your defense couldn't stop the Patriots from scoring a touchdown. Please explain to me how you just think you deserve to have the ball again. They marched down. This isn't... I hate the college and high school rules. Give them the ball at 25. That's not earned. It becomes a glorified field goal kicking contest half the time. I think overtime should be eliminated altogether. Except in playoff games. I'd even eliminate it in the Super Bowl. You could have co-champions. I'd love to see Atlanta Falcons fans walking around saying, world champion Atlanta Falcons after they blow a 25-point lead. That would be, you want to keep the population down. The amount of people that would be laughing at Atlanta Falcons fans so hard they would be rupturing their internal organs if you tried to do that. That's my little snarky sense of humor, yes, but why not? I mean, think about this. I think it's better than having a gimmick decide the world title. Football was never meant to have an overtime. Nobody's ever been able to get it right. The current NFL rule is the best we've ever had, because it has field position in play. It's still earned. It doesn't give the aforementioned advantage to the team that bats last, so to speak. And then, also, at 10 minutes... all right, now you've got decision-making. There's more decision-making now than ever before in an overtime period. Frank Reich, he didn't punt, he lost the game. He played for the win, not the tie. Vito Stellino didn't like it. I admire the guts. That's the thing. Overtime rewards gutlessness as coaches play for ties at the end of the 4th quarter. They rarely go for 2. It's also an extra period for players. You want to make the game safer? There you go. Shorter game, safer game. I think we've all pretty much accepted also. There's usually a winner and a loser to a tie. And nobody thinks that the Vols didn't lose to the Alabama Crimson Tide in 1993. Most famous headline of all time. Harvard beats Yale, 29-29. Most famous headline ever. And that was in a student paper. Proposed roster expansion comes out of the owners' meeting. That'd be beneficial. In fact, the NFL should consider a rule in which every player on a roster must get into the game. Now, I can understand maybe if you have a punter and you never punt in a game. I've seen that. You have a wonderful day on offense. Say your holder is backup quarterback and not the punter or something like that. Punter doesn't get in. Maybe you get an exception for that. Maybe the 3rd string quarterback. I don't, maybe otherwise, yeah. And the reason, now I realize you put in a rule like that, you could say, okay, the backup quarterback has to play. Well, then what happens I can see this coming a mile away. You put him in the first play of the game, he hands off to the fullback. There it is. Now we go back to Tom Brady for the rest of the game. I mean, I understand it's not a perfect system, but here's where I'm going with if you require the entire roster to be played. Think of starting baseball pitchers. They're no longer asked to play complete games. So why are football players playing a contact sport asked to do the same? Would it not be beneficial for a football player to have a breather every now and then? Now, I mean, I've thought about this. I mean, if you have a left tackle and he's all pro and you then replace him with the rookie and all that, well, now maybe your quarterback is in some sort of jeopardy. I understand that. But at the same time, I'd hope the backup is competent and maybe the all-pro could use a breather. And he'd be even better. And everybody, fresher ball player. That sounds to me better than tired ball player. And they're all good if they're in the NFL. Wouldn't also expanding the rosters in the NFL take players away from potential rival leagues, be it the XFL or whoever? Arena football. That ensures that pro football keeps their monopoly. You're taking away that much more talent from the XFL. Now, other changes the league are discussing. Roger Goodell, he's basically Kennesaw Mountain Landis when it comes out to handing suspensions. But I don't know if that's a problem or if the problem is Tom Brady missed as much action for taking air, allegedly, out of a football than Ben Roethlisberger did for allegedly raping women. That's not right. The league's marijuana policy will likely change. I'm kind of okay with this, kind of not. For medicinal purposes, sure. Absolutely. No problem. Of course, though, if marijuana was not used recreationally, we wouldn't have the debate over medicinal marijuana in the first place, now would we? So, that's one of the reasons why I say, look, why don't we continue to ban and frown on recreational use and focus on marijuana's medicinal use? Then we have healthier people, folks. I'd like that done as a society, to be honest with you. Okay, so I would be in favor of medicinal marijuana, sure, in NFL, but, Le'Veon Bell and LeVar Blount and all that, nah, they ought to get some fines there for missing the game because they were too stoned in their car. Hey, I'm Marky Billson. It's Tri-City Sports Now. I got Adam Nelson coming up next. Later on, it's Jerry Bonkowski talking NASCAR, Jake Hubbard talking playing college football when you didn't do it in high school, and Josh Brown on the Braves. Obviously, you don't play college football in high school. You know what I mean.